Hey, what's up everybody? Michael here, and I have got some really good news for you. So here I'm over on my PlayStation 5, and in this instance, this is a 10.01 machine, but I have been waiting to go to 12.00, and I haven't been able to, primarily because I have not had the Star Wars Racer Revenge game disc. Now I also did not load it digitally, so this is just simply a fake package. So now that we have an implementation of the remote Lua loader combined with the Artemis engine games, so those Japanese games that we've had, now I can go ahead and I can jailbreak safely all the way up to 12.00. And the reason I'm saying 12.00 is that one right now has the ability to use kstuff. Now, one of the other things that we can do once we get the system jailbroken, because it's going to take about 2 hours the first time, is that then we can unpatch our Blu-ray disc. So from now on, I'll be able to just simply jailbreak with a Blu-ray disc. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's jump straight into it. So now in my instance, and I do not recommend that you do it, but I would like to have a console on one of the latest jailbreaks. So I'm going to go ahead and update mine from 10.01 all the way to 12.00. So I'm just heading over here to Darth Sterney's firmware archive here, and then I'm going to grab the 12.00 update. Once I download that, I'm just going to simply put that on a USB drive under the name of PS5, and then update, and then PS5 update.pup, and we're going to insert that in our PlayStation 5. Okay, so back over on the PlayStation 5, I'm going to go to System Software Update and Settings, and we're going to go to Update System Software, and we're going to select from the USB drive here, and I am going to take the option to update. Okay, so now the system is rebooted here, so now again we can come back over here to our system and then console information, and right there we're at 12.00. Okay, great. So now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and take advantage of one of those game discs. So as I showed you a little bit earlier, I am using a Kage 2. So you'll need to just go ahead and insert that into your disk drive. And in just a second, you'll see it spin up. Now in this instance, I have already installed the game, but yours would start installing at this point. So I'm going to go to where it says play game. Okay, and so in this instance, what we're going to do is we're going to be using the Artemis engine in order to exploit this PlayStation. Now again, there is options in case you want to just use a backup, but I just rather just show you how to do everything step by step. So now that we're in here, let's go to where it says start up at the top and press X. And don't worry, we don't have to play this game for very long. So we're just going to take all of the defaults here. And yeah, I don't have a clue what any of this is saying here. But in just a second, we're going to be able to get to the save screen, which is what we're looking for. Okay, so right here, go ahead and press the square button. And up at the top, you'll see each one of these has a different label to it. But the third one here is actually the option to save the game. So I'm going to come right here, and we're going to save it right here in slot number 1. As you can see, it's got the date and timestamp just been added to it. And now we are completely done with this game, which is terrific. So we'll just go ahead and we will close back out of the game. And now make sure you have a USB drive attached, because now what we need to do is we need to export that save game file where we can add the exploit to it. So let's go to the save data PlayStation 4, and then we're going to go to the upload or delete from console storage. And right there it is. We'll go ahead and put a check mark on that, and we will copy that to our USB drive. Now again, if you don't have the option to copy it, you can always use one of the backups and restore to. The reason that I'm primarily not doing that is just simply because I don't want to lose all of the different games and things like that that I've already got installed on this system. So now at this point, we need to take that save game file back over to our PC. Okay, again, from the project page, just make sure you come up here to code and go ahead and download the zip file if you haven't already. And then we're going to go over to garlicsaves.com because this is how we're going to resign our save game files in just a moment. Okay, so if you plug in the USB drive, you will see a PS4 folder, and then there is a folder called Save Data here. And then right here is going to be the account ID. So go ahead and copy that to your clipboard as we're going to need that in just a second. And then this right here is the save game file for Akage 2. Okay, so back over in Garlic Saves, let's go ahead and create a new profile name. So I just gave it a name, and now I'm pasting in that account ID, and we're going to hit Add Profile here. So we can see this one is designated with our PS5 12.00 machine. And we're going to come right over here to where it says decrypt. And we're going to drag and drop both of the save data files directly into this window. And we're going to click on where it says start decrypt. Okay, and so at this point it is completely done. So I'm going to go ahead and download the result here. Okay, so I just went ahead and I extracted that file, and here we've got save data. So here is all of the save data files. And if we go back over to the remote Lua loader that we downloaded, we have a save data. So in the save data here, I'm just going to select all of these files here, and I'm just going to copy them. And I am going to replace the files in the destination. So now we have our save data that is ready to run. So now we just need to encrypt this back again, and we should be back on our way. So I'm going to come right back over here into the encrypt section, and we are going to select our PS5 12.00. And then I'm just going to take that save data folder that has all of the different files in it here and just drop that directly in this window. And we'll see we got 31 files in the folder, and now we just need to encrypt. Okay, now that is finished. We're going to go ahead and download the result again. You'll see that this one has an _ENC on it for an encrypted file. And now with that encrypted zip file, you can just simply take that PS4 folder and just copy it over to your USB drive. Now, I just went ahead and deleted my existing PS4 folder that I had in here because there was nothing that we need to use from that. So now at this point, I have my save data. So let's go ahead and let's try this now. Okay, back over on the PlayStation 5 here, we're going to go to settings, and we're going to scroll down to save data. We're going to go to copy or delete from USB drive. And right there it is. We're going to put a check mark in that, and we are now going to copy it. And that is going to the console storage. So we'll hit yes on that. And at this point, we should be able to just go ahead and run the game. So here we are. We can hit play game on that. And if all went well, we should be able to see this screen right here, which is the remote Lua loader. And now this one is running successfully on a PS5 12.00, listening on port 10.0.0.173. So now that we've got that complete, now we need to go ahead and run the patience to jailbreak. Okay, so a little bit earlier, we downloaded the remote Lua loader, and inside of that, there is a payloads folder here. And inside of the payloads folder, there's two files that we're going to be using here. We're going to be using the send_lua.py, as well as we're going to be using the P2JB.lua. So what I do so I can see all of the output is that I just open up a Windows PowerShell prompt here. I do have Python installed. You might want to check to see if you have it. So I'm just running Python and then send_lua.py. My IP address of my PlayStation 5 here, as well as the port being 9026, and then the P2JB.lua. Now, once we kick this off, it's going to take a while, about 2 hours, in order for this to be successful. And I'm going to go ahead and press enter on this. And right there, you can see that it is starting up, and it does have a countdown here. We can see that right now it's about an hour and 51 minutes in order for this to complete. Okay, so while we're waiting for that to get jailbroken, let's go ahead and download a few more files that we'll need. So the next file we're going to need is going to be BD-JB 1.1. And what we're going to do from here is we're just going to come over here and download this L file. Now, this is going to allow us to unpatch BD-J, so we will be able to jailbreak a whole lot easier in the future, and we will not have to wait 2 hours. Now with that, we are going to need to have access to a Blu-ray burner, as we would need to burn this Blu-ray disc here. So this is by itsPLK. Obviously there's been a number of projects that we've enjoyed from them, but they have a 1.1 ISO that is out. So if you just come straight over here, go ahead and download this ISO image. So I'm going to use image burn here to burn this to the disk. So I'm going to select write an image file. I just selected that PS5 BD-JB autoloader, and I've just inserted a blank disk in here. And now I'm just going to come down here to ready, and we will go ahead and write this to the disk. Okay, and now that is successful. So let's go ahead and switch back and check on the jailbreak. Okay, so we are nearing the end of it here. It shows that there is only a couple of seconds left. So let's see how well that this works. Okay, so I only see some output in Windows PowerShell, and there it goes. Stage 2, Stage 3, and wow, there it goes. We now have our ELF loader running on port 9021. So very cool. Okay, so the very first thing that you want to do is to leave this screen alone. Do not touch it or do anything at the moment, because if you close it, it will crash the system. So let's go ahead and open up Netcat GUI. And right here you can see I'm just going to map my IP address to the IP address listed on the screen there. This time we're going to be doing this with port 9021. And as far as the payload, we're going to be sending over that BD-J unpatch _ 13.20.elf. So once yours looks just like this, go ahead and hit inject payload. And right up there at the top, you will see that it says patched BD-J stack.jar. And so if you see that, that means now you no longer have to wait 2 hours in order to get jailbroken. Now, I am aware that this version of it still requires a Japanese game, but stay tuned, because there is going to be P2JB coming out soon, and who knows, maybe Netflix, I don't know, we might see some other games pop up. And so now you can just go ahead and remove the game disc and your PlayStation will crash. Just go ahead and get rebooted again. Okay, so I just rebooted my console here, so I'm going to go over here to Media, and I am going to insert the disk that we burned a little bit earlier, and I am now going to go down to where it says play. Okay, and so this one has completed successfully here. Now it does say down at the bottom, port 9021 is open and listening. And so now if we just want to get some of our games up and running again, we can use kstuff-lite, which again at this moment only goes up to 12.00. So you could just come down here and download the kstuff.elf file. Once you have that downloaded, we are going to be using Netcat GUI. And from here, I'm just going to put in my PS5's IP address, the port at 9021, our kstuff.elf file, and then hit inject payload. And there we go, we just launched kstuff-lite. Okay, and so now if I go back to games here, and let's say I want to go into debug settings, right there is my debug settings. I could obviously now come in here and I would have the ability to run these games that weren't working a little bit earlier today. So here is the fake package game of Star Wars Racer Revenge. Again, we don't need that anymore. And yeah, if I come back over here to settings and we go over here to system and then console information, we can see that we have been able to do all of this on a 12.00 PlayStation 5. Anyways, I hope this video helps some of you out there. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Michael out.